Yes, this is Emeka Ugwonye. I am back on the fifth part 5 of the video clip, explaining my encounters with the Nigerian police. As I explained in the previous one, the police wanted to make sure that I would not be allowed to represent Emmanuel Adoga. My relationship with the police had been tense and getting increasingly and nasty. But the turning point was when I indicated that I was going to represent Emmanuel Adoga and that I was going to file papers in court demanding that those boys be charged to court. Why would the police detain them? That was my argument. Why would the police hold these boys 4 months after they were paraded, 5 months after they were paraded, and they made confessions on television before the whole world? Why would they still be in detention? That was my question. Even on the 16th of October, when the police took me to their office, I asked them, why detain the boys? Why keep them there? If you feel you had evidence, if you feel they had confessed, it was time to charge them to court for murder. One of the police officers, called OC Admin, was trying to explain to me on the 6th of October why they would just detain these boys for months, even after the police were supposed to have had all the evidence, including particularly the confessionary statements of these boys. So I asked this man that question, and he tried to explain to me, even though he didn't make sense. He tried to blame it on the judiciary. He tried to blame it on the court system, that the judges were not ready to take on those cases, and it made no sense to me. But in any event, when I offered, as was the case in the video, that I was going to represent Emmanuel Adoga, and I meant it, I was already speaking with his family members. His father and I had a conversation. The family is worried that their boy is detained. They believe in his innocence. But he was detained 5 months after the supposed confession. So I was going to file papers. Well, maybe it was my mistake. I announced it before I filed those papers. So the police were determined to stop me from being his lawyer. And the police tried 2 tricks. The first trick was that the police argued that I was disbarred, that I was a disbarred lawyer. The word disbarred had gathered a new frenzy or a new recognition in Nigeria. It is now a common word on the lips of everybody. So the Nigerian Abuja command said I was disbarred. If I was disbarred, it's not your business. Tell the judge, allow me to get to court defending Emmanuel Adoga, then tell the judge I was disbarred, so that the judge could hear an argument on the matter on both sides and make a decision. It was never for the police to decide who is disbarred or who is not disbarred. But again, they tried to do this in the hope that that would scare me and that I would pull back. But I was not going to pull back. Indeed, the police also used the tactic of nasty propaganda. They even organized on the 18th of October, after they had urged the magistrate to lock me up and I was remanded, they organized a press conference, a press release in which they lied against me. They said I was disbarred, and they said that I was disbarred for my criminal act. According to the man, the police spokesperson from the headquarters of the police. So they were all touched when I said they commit extrajudicial killings. But this is something everybody else had said. It's something on the world record. It's something on the country report on Nigeria by all the Western countries, America, Britain. They all acknowledge that Nigerian police engage in extrajudicial killing. There was nothing new, I said. I never even worried or wondered if what I was saying was true or false, because it was true. After all, we are talking of Abuja, we are talking of Apo. Apo 6 still lives in the memory of Nigerians. So no police commissioner for Abuja would be offended if I were to say that the Nigerian police in Abuja engage in extrajudicial killings. If at all, they would ask for specifics in order to understand whether we are dealing with new set of facts or old facts. So, but that was it. The police tried to force me out of the case of Emmanuel Adoga. They wanted me to stop asking questions about those cases. They wanted me to stop asking for full, logical, meaningful explanation of what happened to Chacha. They want their own narratives to carry the day. They wanted what they said to be the story for the world. They did not want an alternative analysis of events. So this time, they had to make sure, or try to make sure, that I was permanently put away, and I would stop complaining and stop demanding for accountability and full explanation of what happened to Chacha. And let me say this, I do not believe that the confessions were given voluntarily. The confessions that were made on the television, which the police paraded these boys, I do not believe they were voluntary. I do not believe that the police acted professionally. I do not believe that the police acted in accordance with the Constitution. Indeed, I know that they violated the Constitution. I knew from the video, because those boys were never given access to counsel. Those boys were detained, never given access to family aid. And apparently those boys were tortured. Those were sufficient for me to determine that whatever confession was given could not have been given voluntarily. I had to ask questions. I asked questions because I am a lawyer. But let me also say clearly that every Nigerian citizen has a right to ask questions, whether you're a lawyer, a medical doctor, or whether you are a taxi driver. The emphasis and the effort of the police to focus and blackmail me over a dispute with the bar is neither here nor there. So the police, not knowing what else to do, decided to stage the biggest drama in history. They charged the boys. Yes, that's what I've been demanding. They charged the boys, but they did something else. They charged me along with the boys. They charged me along with the boys. Okay, if the police thought they would get away with this, that means that they had again underestimated me. They had underestimated our system. They have underestimated others. They have underestimated DPA. This police should not forget that it was DPA's hard work and intelligence that led to the connection of the body, unidentified body found in Bore, Abuja, and Chacha, the missing lady. So now, what is the contention here? The contention is that the police had favored David Ayedebo. The police had conducted the investigations in a way that automatically held David Ayedebo free of suspicion. Everything done in the investigation was essentially to show that David was innocent. If David was innocent, well and good. If these boys killed Chacha, well, let them be held accountable. But why the torture? Why the forced confession? And now, why charging the lawyer and the man investigating the matter? Is it not a clear attempt to silence us and send a strong message to Nigerians that if you are dealing with the Nigerian police, you must suspend your intelligence and follow whatever game they play? Today, they may think they are hurting me. They may think that silencing Emeka Ugwuonyi, but they are silencing a lot more people. Who else would ever work with the Nigerian police? Who else would ever trust them? Who else would do so? And if the police could charge me with the murder of Chacha, it means that I have no idea who killed Chacha. It means they did not believe the confession of the boys. If they believe the confessions of the boys, then why charge me? Because apparently the boys did not mention me. If they had mentioned me, the police had had since June to arrest me for murder. They didn't. And another thing, if the Nigerian police could be so casual, so random, so vindictive in the way they decide to charge people with such crimes, then this country, they're admitting what we had always known, or what we had always suspected, that a lot of the people accused of armed robbery and murder and kidnapping, and some of whom were killed extrajudicially, were innocent. They didn't do it. The police had demonstrated how they operate. If they could charge me without consideration of anything, without consideration of what the world would think, then what about those people, the parade? What about those dead bodies they claim were killed in exchange of gunfire? Who would believe them? It is unfortunate. Nigerians must understand this. The world must understand this. Thank you. God bless.